today's video, we'll look into a scenario in which China and Asia go to war. And I'm going to show you China's plans that were put forward. Because China is invading India in today's video. I hope you guys are having a good day. One plan is to invade into here, with an eventual plan to move down like this to get to Iran. They want to move into Mongolia, and up there, they want to move here. They want to move down the Korean Peninsula. They want to move into India through Myanmar. And another one is move down there. And let's see, does it match up against blue team plans? Really, I can't click the yellow. That's a surprise. And now let's look at the blue team's plan. Well, Taiwan's is to stand till the last drop of blood. But India's plan is to move in to here. And they want to build a defensive wall along here. And while there will be more plans, I just need to put in naval dominance. I did start recording this video earlier, but those clips had to be deleted as I didn't use my cool microphone. China's first plan going to a huge success. And guys, what was their first plan? Well, their first plan was an invasion of Mongolia, and this goes really well, as they launch 3 fronts, and after 3 days of fighting, they occupy like this much. And well, they continue to have these big victories on the battlefield, but they break through a defensive line, allowing them to get to like here, as they manage to take the capital. And yeah, and they basically neutralized it. So now they kind of head into Central Asia, but due to Russian peacekeeping forces, it doesn't go far. Yeah, it goes to there. And well, their North Korean invasion goes split splash, as they take Pyongyang, and in the same day they take Seoul. No, I'm kidding. Oh, they take Pyongyang, and a few months later, they manage to take Seoul. With China's invasion of Korea going to full success, as they start to break out towards Japanese waters, which this scares Japan, as they are able to make 3 failures of landings. Wait, what? Are you guys wondering why it's a failure? So first, they invade here. Right, guys? And well, it goes so well, they get to here. And then, well, somebody named Japan invades. So then the next time, they're like, well, element of surprise would be an attack here. Wait, what? As they are kicked out. So they say, why don't we just send every troop that's ready to cross? And well, they're able to blitzkrieg in. But this is a big mistake. Why is this a big mistake, you may say? Japanese naval landing. And they kill everything. Blue team plan already started. With the India's forces launching an invasion of this region which China took. And a swift and embarrassing defeat for China. It's a swift and embarrassing defeat. As they advance further and further in, they claim it as theirs, as their flag reigns once more over the region for the first time since 1962. Okay, that's a good story. And as India invades, they move out. But why are they moving so slow, mountains? With Nepal saying 6 months later, finally they get across. And they're moving into Tibet. China basically is quick to mess with their dams and turn off water basically to India, which leads India to have one choice left: an attack in every region possible here. And they're only small spearheads because of the lack of water. Fine, that doesn't make sense. And because it's mountains. As they manage to do this. Almost thereby starting to move into some major rivers. With these regions toppling over as there's nothing protecting it. And then India does this. Nothing protecting those lands, this happens. And what was going on during them that China wasn't embarrassed about losing? Well, China did that, right? And then they attacked poor old Taiwan. As they do this. With China angry and infuriated, they call the operation into Myanmar early, causing panic within the blue team. And while they launch a few counter-offensives against India's invasion of Tibet, the first invasion of Tibet, shall I call it. And while India is the most populous country, so they'll have a better chance. With China's invasion of Myanmar almost spilling into India, and then it does. As it spills into India. China's invasion widens on this front, so they don't get encircled. And well, yeah, basically they do well. Okay, maybe I should use an 8 so it's not square again. As they move in. And they move further in. And further in. As they invade Bangladesh and take some of the most populous regions. Which is here. So they basically capitulate over. And well, this was an objective of the Chinese army, as they started an advance here. Basically, well, their naval fight is going well. But India still occupying territory. Let's see what Siberia is doing. Like, who wants to see what Siberia's been doing this whole time? Well, it may be no surprise, but this just started. And it may be no surprise, but this just started. It may be no surprise, but it looks like this. With it all going bad when Vladivostok falls. And well, with no Vladivostok, well, what are they going to do, guys? I don't know. Do you? Well, of course, they're just going to keep invading. In Europe's just watching, seeing that China isn't that powerful enough to fight this many countries. And somehow this war actually broke out is what the surprising part is. With them moving into Afghanistan, what's the worst that could happen? And shockingly, they move into Pakistan. They were debating whether or not, but they ended up going ahead. With this being a great invasion site, with India saying, hey Pakistan, want help? And Pakistan says yes. And well, yeah, that's what the front now looks like. With China saying full speed towards Iran's capital, Tehran. But the Arabian area is like, no, you can't do that to Iran. Wait, what? This is such a weird world. With Siberian and Kazakhstan forces and Uzbekistan's forces and Turkmenistan's forces all being kicked back, along with Afghanistan's and Pakistan's. With India trying to put more pressure on Chinese front lines by invading. That's a small but tactical attack. If China infuriated, they go up here and push them back. Almost all the way to the India-China border. And well, that's what it looks like. As some Chinese forces are noted to be entering into Iran. This is a cause for panic. But is China really able to do too much more than what they've already done? Well, they move into Vietnam swiftly. But as we know, what happened to China the last time they invaded that area? Well, it was a tactical defeat, basically. With them being put into a stalemate as they try to reach Bangkok. But why were they put into a stalemate? Because some things called guerrilla fighters start popping up everywhere. Really? And you know where else they started popping up? And yeah, what this allowed these few countries that had guerrilla fighters to push their invaders back. And look at all these guerrilla fighting pockets. With China unable to stop them, and they overrun this area. Leading to this front being pushed all the way back and locked in a stalemate. India notices that China is distracted on other fronts and does that. With China saying, wait a minute, we should have already taken out Mongolia. They're so weak. And well, look what happens once they realize that. It's demoralizing as more blue team members are failing. To just China. How? Don't ask me. With China knowing they can't really do naval invasions, well, they do what anybody who knows they can't do naval invasions would do. What? They encircle it fully. And then they make the landings in the Philippines. But they're unsuccessful as the Philippines is far from their place of worship. As they try to get to Manila, which they take, they're quickly locked into a stalemate. Well, maybe we can move up north into Siberia, which they finally started this objective. With them pushing towards Iran's capital. Why am I saying Iran? Iran? I don't know what's going on. But Iran all the way to Iran. Wait, what? Did they just say? As they take Tehran. Iran all the way to Iran and Tehran. Wait, what? Tehran. Tehran. With Siberia's capital being Omsk. Right. Now their capital is Vladivostok, so they're in trouble. As they start to fall all the way back. But fierce Siberian fighters come back and yell, basically. Wait, what? That's weird. As Genghis Khan raises from the dead. Wait, what? Okay. With Russia infuriated at their defeats, they do this. With India making a counter-offensive and the Middle East making a counter-offensive. And well, they enter into Kazakhstan on two fronts. China's army is completely tired. And at this point, they're demoralized. As suddenly and randomly, Xinjiang just leaves China. Wait, what? But since they're part of Asia, if you leave China, you have to join the blue team. And plus, they were going to anyways join the blue team. But you can disagree if you want with Xinjiang declaring its independence from China and joining the blue team. And well, Now China's encircled here. Oh, shoot. With India and Evereye's forces just attacking here, pushing them further and further and further and further away. And somebody's supporting them. I don't know who. Maybe it's Russia, maybe it's America, maybe it's Canada, maybe it's Britain, maybe it's France, maybe it's Poland, because Poland is the best. With India starting a counteroffensive in the south. With the Chinese Navy being forced to retreat in the South China Sea by going ahead. With Mongolia and Russia slamming into Manchukuo. And well, this is like the end of China. And well, the Chinese Navy is like, yeah, we're doing good until this happens. And well, yeah, this is going to go wrong. And this goes even wronger. And this goes even wronger. And wronger. And wronger and wronger and wronger and wronger and wronger and wronger. And more wrong. And well, there's people who want a new government all over rising up. After Beijing falls, everyone's shocked as our republic overthrows China. But this republic is very short-lived. As well, they took Beijing easily. Did they actually? But then it turns out Beijing has not been captured yet. Has not been yet. As Beijing is taken back, and this area is pushed back into. As I said, the republics overthrew, but the communists still are in power in Beijing. So yeah, and this is where the republic rises up. And yeah, they're just republic forces. As it start to turn for the government holding on by a piece of straw on the power. As they manage to get a peace with the blue team, a ceasefire, but there's no treaty signed yet. Because, well, somebody's in a civil war. And some people upset that they didn't take Beijing. Fight to the last drop of blood to take it. Wait, what? And Beijing is taken. And then this is taken. And well, yeah. As the Republic basically overthrows the rest, they meet for peace with the blue team, which is very harsh in their treaty with China. But should it be? Well, I guess. What did China just do? With Xinjiang happy to just get, with Beijing happy to just get its back. I'm just irritated that I keep coloring the black lines blue when I'm trying to color in the red lines blue. And only neighbors of China really get anything out of it. All of China, what's left of China. Wait, what? And while India annexed Tibet, Mongolia annexed Inner Mongolia, Manchukuo was annexed by Russia, Korea annexed its lawful lands that are its same people, so not lawful, but ethnic lands. And well, that's annexed by Japan, Vietnam annexes that, Myanmar, and well, India. But suddenly, Russia reunites. And for some reason, all of the places that lost parts of their lands somehow lose lands to Siberia. Well, the Russian Empire is what it's now called. With the experienced soldiers from this war being sent somewhere else. I wonder where. And well, this is not looking great, guys, for China. The Republic of China is now definitely weaker than India. Just saying. So India isn't in, most likely, second place. So that's a good achievement. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe. That's pretty much a good idea. As I said so. So please like and subscribe. So guys, we're at 162 subscribers. That's 38 away from 200. And we only have a week to go. And hopefully this year will be the year that Ukraine overcomes Russia. As it's been a year since that war began in Ukraine. So hopefully Ukraine can eventually retake Crimea and the Donbass region. Don't tell Russia I said that, just saying. Don't tell them. Don't tell Russia I said that. Don't tell any dictator I just said that, just saying. But that'd be glorious if they won. Yeah. Hopefully. And as it's been a year of that fighting. Like, this has lasted longer than the Winter War. So basically, the Winter War, humiliation, but every day. So you can think of that. They weren't ready for the war. Well, then again, 44 million people. Probably about, I would say, 35 million maybe there today. So it's a big shrink in a year. But Russia lost millions of people. If you can get away, you can leave, basically. To there and there. So please like and subscribe, if you could. It would mean a lot. So please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. So we need to get to 200 subscribers by March 1st, which is in 5 days. So you need a rush. So please like and subscribe. That's all for today's video. Wild Map.